Good morning, you guys. So today we're going to have a discussion. First things first, we got to do some housekeeping for this particular video. In the comments, if you decide to comment, I need you guys to keep it very respectful because one, I am a person that has a heart, okay? I have a heart. I do care about people. So one thing's for certain, two things for sure. We all bleed the same, and number two, we all have life and we all have death. So keep it very, very respectful in the comments for this video. Thank you. Let's talk about this. Okay, so yesterday I was out doing some grocery shopping and I got a text, numerous texts from different people in the military. As you guys know, I'm active duty military, soon to retire here in a few months. And the text basically was a screenshot from Navy Times, which I'm sure it was an article not only on Navy Times, but on all of the branches. And I will pop it up here somewhere. And it says, a new Pentagon memo directs the military to identify service members diagnosed with gender dysmorphia within 30 days and begin separation actions. And then it also goes to say transgender troops will be separated from the military, Pentagon says. So the memo directs them to do this. We don't have any guidance on this right now. We have no guidance on this. And I'm going to say this in the most respectful way possible. I do feel for anyone who has to separate the military within a 30-day span. So going back and looking at this, it says you identify the people diagnosed with gender dysmorphia within 30 days. So they're giving them 30 days to go ahead and identify who those personnel are. And then once they are identified, they need to start the separation process, which it doesn't take too long to separate a person from the military. It just doesn't. We've had two other situations. Years ago, if you failed 2 PFAs or PRTs in the military, and that's basically your fitness test, if you failed 3 in a row or 3 in a 4-year span, you were separated, and that was pretty much the timeline that you were given. But you had 3 different opportunities to get right physically, right? You had 3 different opportunities, and you knew on that third one, if you failed, that you were going to be separated very, very soon. We had another situation while I was in, and it was called ERB, and that was Enlisted Retention Board, where they basically wanted to downsize, and they scrubbed all the military records. And once they scrubbed all the records, they identified people that may have had some type of misconduct. Some people didn't even have misconduct, but those people, that situation, I'm kind of categorizing with this current situation, because the ERB situation, you had people who had signed contracts. So say you signed a 6-year contract in the military, and you and your spouse, for instance, started your family, bought a house, you may have purchased a new car, and then all of a sudden this comes out, Enlisted Retention Board, right? And when the Enlisted Retention Board comes out, your name is on the list, and you are given X amount of days to separate. After you have already signed a maybe 6-year contract, 4-year contract, had all these life-changing things happen, and now you have to come up with a plan within 30 to 60 or however many days it was. That was almost a decade ago when that happened. So I don't remember the exact time frame, but I know it was a short one. You did not have a long time. I am relating that or correlating that to this. If this goes through, and this actually does go through, because I keep checking, even though I'm retiring, I still like to be up to date with what's going on. I haven't seen any guidance, any official guidance on how this will be done, how everybody will be identified. If you do this, then, and this goes through, these personnel have 30 days once they're identified, and some of them are going through the hormone treatment and all of that now, to be separated. That is life change. That's a drastic life change, especially if we found this out yesterday. If the day before yesterday, say you had re-enlisted last month and you re-enlisted for 4 years or 3 years or 6 years, you were thinking you had a guaranteed career for that amount of time. So that's where I'm like, That's a blow. That's a blow. And we're talking about this situation right now. I know layoffs are happening everywhere, but today we're talking about this specific situation. On the flip side of it, and this is where I want you guys to keep it very respectful, especially if I have active duty members that come and make comments on this particular video. When we found out that transgender personnel were allowed to serve in the military, or if they were already currently in the military, and they were going to get to go undergo all these different treatments, right? If I remember correctly, I could be wrong because I'm not personally going through it myself, but I do know sailors, soldiers, whatever, that are going through it. You had a down period of like 18 months, right? You had a down period of 18 months. So to a lot of people who are active duty, to them, that was not fair, because even though I'm trying to choose my words correctly, because I don't want to offend anybody, because like I said, we all bleed the same. We all live, we're all born, and we all eventually end up dying. That's how I view the world. That's the way I view the world. If you cut all of us open, we're all going to bleed the same. So if anybody disagrees with that, leave it down in the comments. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to make maybe one response, but I'm not going to go back and forth with you and fight with you on this. That is how people are people. Human beings are human beings. So I personally did not think it was fair that people could join knowing that they were getting an elective surgery, and we can battle that if you want to. It is an elective surgery because I could have body dysmorphia and I could potentially not get a breast augmentation, right? That's something that can mess with my mental. And I'm not saying me, but I know a lot of women who, after they have babies and after their bodies go through different changes, those are not elective surgeries that would put you down for 18 months potentially. And the military actually does do breast augmentations now. They actually do if it's deemed medically necessary, but it does not put you down for 18 months. So meanwhile, if you're joining and you don't have the correct intentions, with some people, not all, I don't even want to use the word a lot because I know this video could be very controversial. Some of the people that were joining, knowing that they were transgender, would join, get the time off, get the surgery, do whatever. By the time you come back, you might not want to serve and get out. Now, that's not true with all the people that were transgender. I know that there are transgender that are in very high ranking positions that are doing wonderful, outstanding things in the military. And once they went through the transition, they got the time off and all of that. But I'm here to talk to you guys more about the timeline of when they have to separate. That is the main thing of this video. So it's not really so much for us to have a discussion on should they be in, should they not be in, because that's already happened. Transgender people are already in the military, and you have to embrace change. If it's already happening in the military, we're war fighters. If you're working side by side with someone, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, transgender, when all hell breaks loose, we have to be trained and ready to do what we need to do. That's just whoever, regardless of what you are and what you believe in. We have to be war fighters. That's what the military is. That's what we have to do. So I'm wondering what you guys think about the timeline. Do you think the timeline is fair? 30 days from the time that they're identified. Do you think that's a fair timeline? Also, the people that say they haven't told anybody. Remember, don't ask, don't tell. Say they haven't told anybody that. Say it could be a male, and on the weekends he dresses up as a woman, but he hasn't told anyone in the military that he's done that because he's scared, right? Because he's scared of repercussions, or maybe scared to go through the surgery, or just doesn't want anyone to know his business. He just keeps it private. So now those people, he or she, it could be vice versa, are now going to see this. And if this all gets passed and this goes through, now they're going to be psychologically living a double life. You can look at it this way. Do you do that in private and come to work and just focus on work and being a warfighter in the military, or which some people will you come forward and say, I feel as though I was born in the wrong body. I need to go see medical about it and then get processed out. Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have the people that are there on this side that say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep this to myself because I need this career. They could be at 18 years. They could be at 15 years. And when you've already given 15 years to a career and you're almost about to retire, do you really want to live your truth, or do you want to take care of yourself financially with the state of the economy? So that's going to be a battle. Then you have the other people who are like, you know what? Forget this. I want out. I want out. Let me go ahead and tell someone, and this could be someone that doesn't even have, that's not even transgender, because you have people that do that too. I'm just going to say I'm a transgender so I can get, diagnosed with this and get out. So that's what we're working with here. I don't know. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I hope that I kept this video very light and respectful, but I'm really interested on your thoughts. Please, in the comments, please, 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 because we already know how the keyboard warriors get and how catty it can get on this internet. Please keep it respectful if you have something to say, and let's just have a discussion about it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.